You're watching Unplugged TV India. This is Alice Francis. Thanks for tuning in. Justice died as 1,000 deaths as rapists and murderers of 14 innocent persons, including a 3-year-old girl, were set free. Ironically, this happened as the Prime Minister Narendra Modi gave a call for upholding Nari Shakti and the dignity of women from the ramparts of the Red Fort on the Independence Day. He went on to urge his fellow Indians to respect and empower women and their critical role in nation building. Alas, it seems his words were not heard in his own state. Before getting into the story, let's catch some major updates from around the world. Gadkari removed from BJP's parliamentary board due to his rising stature. The NCP reacted to BJP's dropping Union Minister Nitin Gadkari from its parliamentary board and said that the party removed him due to his rising stature. When your caliber and capabilities grow, you pose a challenge to the higher ups and the BJP downsize you. The tainted get upgraded, NCP spokesperson Claire Crasto said on. AAP doing low-level politics as Gambhir on Rohingyas accommodation in Delhi. BJP MP Gautam Gambhir reacted to AAP's claim that centre was secretly trying to give residence to Rohingyas in Delhi and said nobody can do politics as low as AAP. Why was the letter demanding better accommodation for Rohingyas written? Gambhir questioned AAP. Our stand is very clear. HM had clarified that we want to deport the Rohingyas. 72% of Bihar's ministers face criminal cases, says report. About 72% of the newly sworn-in ministers in Bihar have declared criminal cases against themselves, according to a report of Association for Democratic Reforms. The poll rights body, which analyzed the affidavits of 32 ministers, found that 17 ministers face serious criminal case against them. CM Nitish Kumar and Deputy CM Tejasvi Yadav also have cases registered against them. Soldier on leave shot dead by 2 men on bike in Patna. A soldier was shot dead by 2 men in a bike in a crowded area in Patna this morning. Bablu Kumar, who was posted in Arunachal Pradesh, had come home on leave. The soldier was on way to Paliputtar railway station in the west end of the city along with his brother when the 2 men overtook his bike and pretended to ask for an address. When he stopped his bike to help them, he was shot in the head. He died on the spot. The incident took place on Thursday. Putin to award Russian mothers $16,000 if they have 10 or more kids. Russian President Vladimir Putin has revived the Soviet-era award of Mother Heroine as the country grapples with a demographic crisis. The title will be bestowed on women who bear and raise 10 or more children. Qualifying mothers will be awarded a one-time payment of 1 million rubles as soon as the 10th living child turns 1 year old. This is not flipping a light switch, US on India-Russia relations. The US has said that it is going to be a long-term proposition for India to reorient its foreign policy away from Russia. It said, we have seen countries around the world speak clearly against Russia's aggression in Ukraine. But we also recognize that this is not flipping a light switch. US further added that India-Russia relations extended back decades. World's first case of human-to-dog monkeypox transmission reported in Paris. A dog has been infected with monkeypox after catching the virus from its owners, the World Health Organization said. The world's first case of human-to-dog transmission occurred in Paris and was reported in The Lancet. The 2 men noticed lesions on their greyhound dog 12 days after they started getting symptoms. In the year 2004, the Supreme Court in an open court had lashed out at the Modi government over its handling of the 2002 Gujarat riots while hearing the Best Bakery case. A bench of Justice Daroswamy Raju and Justice Arjit Pasayat had compared the Modi government to modern day's Neros, who looked the other way as innocent women and children were burning. In the year 2003, the Chief Justice of India, V.N. Khere, came down heavily on the Gujarat government over the handling of their anti-Muslim riots in Gujarat. He said, "I have no faith left in the prosecution and the Gujarat government. If you can't punish the offenders, it's better you quit. If you fail to act, then we will have to step in. We are not sitting here as mere spectators," Khare said. Years later, Narendra Modi, who is yet to apologize for the Gujarat riots that took place under his watch, has decided to further punish and traumatize the Muslim woman he claimed he wanted to liberate. On Monday, 11 convicts who were serving life sentences for rape and murder in the Bilkis Bano, who was gang raped and saw 14 members of her family being murdered by a Hindu mob during the 2002 anti-Muslim riots in the western Indian state of Gujarat, walked out of prison to her heroes to welcome. The decision to free the convicts was announced by the Gujarat government on Monday, as India celebrated its 75th anniversary of independence. A senior official said a government panel had approved the application of remission, as the men first convicted by a trial court in 2008 had spent more than 14 years in jail, and after considering other factors such as their age and behavior in prison. The move by Gujarat's Hindu nationalist Bharatiya Janata Party government, which is also in power nationally, has caused outrage in India. It's been criticized by opposition parties, activists, and several journalists who have called it unethical and a discrimination against India's minority Muslims. Attacks on the community have risen sharply since the BJP formed the federal government in 2014. Many have also pointed out that the release was in contravention of guidelines issued by both the federal government and the Gujarat state government. Both say that rape and murder convicts cannot be granted remission. Life terms in these crimes are usually served until death in India. The biggest setback, predictably, has been for Bilkis Bano and her family. The anger and despondence of the family is easy to understand considering the magnitude of the crime and the protracted battle that they had fought for justice. The attack on Bilkis Bano and her family was one of the most horrific crimes during the riots, which began after 60 Hindu pilgrims died in a fire on a passenger train in Godhra town. Blaming Muslims for starting the fire, Hindu mobs went on a rampage, attacking Muslim neighborhoods. Over 3 days, more than 1,000 people died, most of them Muslims. Bilkis, who was 19-year-old back then, 5 months pregnant, and her family fled when an armed mob attacked their neighborhood. They were hiding in a field when 30 to 40 men carrying swords, sticks, and sickles attacked them. 7 of her family members were killed on the spot. The key accused smashed her infant daughter with a rock. Bilkis was gang raped and given up for dead. She survived and reached the police station with the help of some villagers. Narendra Modi, who was then Gujarat Chief Minister, was criticized for not doing enough to prevent the carnage. He has always denied wrongdoing and has not apologized for the riots. For over a year, the police tried to cover up the matter. Following public uproar, the culprits were arrested in 2004. In 2008, the special CBI court gave life imprisonment to some of the accused for gang rape, murder, and also conspiracy to rape a pregnant woman, while acquitting some for lack of evidence. In 2018, the Bombay High Court upheld the conviction and set aside the acquittal of others. Over the years, the courts have convicted dozens of people for involvement in the riots, but some high-profile accused got bail or were exonerated by higher court. This included Maya Kondani, an ex-minister and aide of Modi, whom a trial court had called kingpin of the riots. And now, the men who wronged Bilkis Bano have also been set free. A video that has since gone viral showed the men lined up outside the Godhra jail, while relatives gave them sweets and touched their feet to show respect. The court's order to free the culprits of the heinous crime did nothing but to reopen the wounds of a victim who is still struggling to live in peace. On the other hand, a shell-shocked Bano in her statement appealed to the Gujarat government to ensure that she and her family are kept safe. Bano said, "I trusted the system and I was slowly learning to live with my trauma. The release of these convicts has taken from me my peace and shaken my faith in justice. Bilkis Bano, who became the symbol of hope for all survivors of Gujarat violence. The previous verdict in her legal case gave hope for justice to all survivors of brutal sexual assaults countrywide. Bilkis is a real-life heroine who fought courageously for justice in the face of tremendous hardship, including hostilities and threat from perpetrators and their political supporters. Remission might fall well within the legal entitlements of a prisoner, but can it be viewed sans any sign of the realization of the wrongdoing, leave alone guilt or remorse? What is the message that goes out to the survivors of sexual assault and communal violence by this remission of the guilt? Remission may not qualify as a legal precedent, but it may end up influencing the mindset of those involved in judicial machinery. It may give a message that those guilty of gang rape and murder can be free after serving a 14-year-old jail term. It may give a message that dastardly crimes can be washed off by merely serving a jail sentence. Meanwhile, the victim suffers the irreparable loss of the lives of loved ones. She remains traumatized for life and is unable to move on. Thank you for watching Unplugged TV India. Please hit like, subscribe and share, and please press the bell icon to get the latest updates.